And we are live on YouTube.
All right.
Right.
So, welcome to our reading of Doctor Who. And this is the Vincent and the Doctor episode, which is somewhere in season 5. I've never actually seen this one, so I can't tell you anything about it. I just know that many of our cast have seen it and they're pretty excited to read it. So, we're going to jump right in here with some quick introductions and then get into the script. So, our doctors today are going to be Vicky and Aubrey. Aubrey's first, I think.
Yes.
So go ahead and start with your
Oh,
introduction.
hello. I am Aubrey McCoy. You can find me either on Spotify here or yeah, lots of different places, YouTube and other things. Anyway, yeah. Pronouns, and whatever. Call me whatever. Like, and from Northern California, and I am reading the part for the first half of as Doctor Who. And you can
Awesome.
find me on Instagram at lucyandthefair.com or Lucy and the Fair. I don't know, my brain. I'm already getting ready to play Doctor Who, and he's spazzy and zany. So here we go.
All right, Vicky.
Hello, I'm Vicky Dykes. I'm from Central Alberta, a little town, Penhold. I am playing Doctor Who in the second half. My pronouns are she, her, and you can find me on Instagram. I am Yogagramma10. That's because I'm a yogi and I have 10 grandchildren. I am on Facebook under the name Vicky Dykes. Quite logical. And I'm one of the people that like really love this episode.
I'm sure you'll have
Oh
lots of things
yeah.
to say about it afterwards, then. All right, let's go on to Amy, which would be being played by Anamika and Haley.
Hi, I'm Anamika Farrow playing Amy in the first half and actions and descriptions in the second half. I am also in Northern California. My pronouns are also she, her. And what else? I guess you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, all those good things. And I am also excited about this episode, even though I only remember like literally like 2 seconds of it, but it like really hit my heart. And so I'm excited to go through it again with you all.
Cool. And I love the painting in the background. Haley.
Hello, I'm Haley Bayermeister, Haley Elizabeth on Facebook. I'm figuring out a stage name. It's a long one. I am coming from Houston, Texas, and yeah, I'm really excited about reading this episode. I've read a Doctor Who episode, the Shakespeare one, and it was a blast. I got to play Doctor Who, so it's really fun. I'm excited to play Amy in this one. And I love this episode as well. So yes, I'll be playing Amy in the second half, and actions. I'll be reading the actions for the first half. Yeah, lovely to be back.
And our Van Gogh today will be Jackie. If you would like to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Jacqueline Hume, like Zoom, and my pronouns are she, her, hers, they, them, theirs. I'm playing Van Gogh. I live in the Washington, D.C. area. You can find me on Instagram, um, JY underscore artiste, or you can find me on Facebook at Jacqueline Elizabeth. And I'm looking forward to doing this episode. It's one of my favorite episodes.
Awesome. All right, and most of our minor characters today will be played by Matthew. Would you like to introduce yourself, Matthew?
Hi, I'm Matthew Shepard. I'm playing a waitress. I'm playing one of the schoolboys, and I'm playing Madame.
And a couple other
And
characters.
I have never seen a Doctor Who episode before,
Okay.
but I might have to start watching them after this episode.
All right. Well, we'll see what's going on. And then tonight I'm playing Dr. Black, Kat Wilson, Gig Harbor, Washington, she, her pronouns. And you can find me on Facebook at Catherine Devaney de Foxfire Wilson. And also on many Saturdays with Two Households in Fair Corona, a Shakespeare reading group. All right. Without further ado, let's get our script up here on the screen. And if I can find it. Let's see, there it is. And we'll go ahead and start reading. So I guess it would help if we actually got to the beginning of the script, wouldn't it? So let me get a few things moved around here so I can get to the beginning of the script. And I wish I can close this other window. I'm not sure how. F11. And do I need to make it a little larger for folks? I do not know how to close this other thing on the side. I'm not sure why it's... Oh, you know what? I think I got the wrong script up. That's probably why. Not the wrong script, but the wrong version of the script. But we'll work with this. All right. So whenever you are ready, let's see, that would be Haley. You can start reading the title page and head on down.
Sounds good. Doctor Who 5, Episode 10 by Richard Curtis. Exterior, wheat field, day X. Start on a field of wheat. The atmosphere is threatening, loneliness, wind. The camera elegantly weaves backwards, revealing more of the field and the ragged path through it. As it gets quite wide, something is familiar about it, and at that moment a flurry of crows seem to rise from the back of the field. The camera moves a little further back, and suddenly there is a canvas on an easel. We pull back behind the easel, which carries the nearly finished Van Gogh painting of the wheat field. And that is indeed the view we have just been moving back through. Although, obviously, the reality is more mundane than Van Gogh's weird, organic, moving world. A paint-covered rough hand comes in to add a final flourish to the painting. A crow, a last splotch of yellow, and now the hand moves away. The camera frames it on the painting, which now takes up the whole screen. All the time with the atmosphere strange, spooky, windy, threatening. But then the camera moves back out again. Cut to interior, Musée d'Orsay, Van Gogh room, day 1. And magically, there's a golden frame around the picture as it is finished. It is 100 years later. We are in the Musée d'Orsay, and the atmosphere is total, bright, and optimistic. It is the Van Gogh room, utterly packed with his famous paintings, and excited people looking at them. The doctor and Amy are there, slightly tagging on to a group behind, being guided by Professor Black, a distinguished, passionate Van Gogh expert.
So this is one of the last paintings Van Gogh ever painted. Those final months of his life were probably the most astonishing artistic outpouring in history. It was like Shakespeare knocking off Othello, Macbeth, and King Lear over the summer holes. And this is especially astonishing because Van Gogh did it all with no hope of praise or reward. We have here possibly the greatest artist of all time, and yet in his lifetime he was a commercial disaster, sold only one painting. Each of these pictures is now worth tens of millions of pounds, but when he died, you could have sold his entire body of work and got about enough money to buy a sofa and a couple of chairs.
I love him, don't you? Just love him.
Oh, yeah, great. Thanks for bringing me.
Oh, you're welcome.
You are being so nice to me. Why are you being so nice to me?
He is very cheerful. The doctor is definitely guilty about what he knows about Rory's death, and she doesn't.
I'm always nice to you.
Not like this. All these places you're taking me, Arcadia, the Trojan Gardens, now here. I think it's suspicious.
It's not. There's really nothing to be suspicious about.
She looks at him sharply, a little taken aback.
Oh, I was joking. Why aren't you?
On the doctor, floundering for a moment, then saved by... From a few yards away, we suddenly hear an enthusiastic schoolboy.
Oh, look, there's the doctor.
The doctor looks around, slightly worried.
Where?
There.
He seems to be pointing straight at our doctor.
Doctor Who?
And they walk straight at the doctor, and right past him.
Dr. Gadget.
And stand in front of the famous portrait of Dr. Gadget, the first boy consulting his little guidebook.
He was the doctor in the village who took care of Vincent of Van Gogh when he started to go bad.
I knew that.
The doctor is momentarily relieved. Amy flicks through a little picture book guide of Van Gogh's paintings and recognizes one of the pictures from it on the wall. It is the picture of the church at Alvers.
Oh, look, there it is, the actual one.
The doctor leans in really close to the painting.
Yes, look at that. You can almost fit his hand painting it right in front of you, carving the colors into shape. Wait a minute.
What?
Well, just look at that.
What?
Something very not good indeed.
What thing not very not good?
The doctor is peering in a strange way, too close, too ardent.
Look, in the window of the church.
Is it a face?
Sure enough, small in the blurred window, a curious, shadowed, creepy face, nasty eyes.
Yes, and not a nice face at all.
He moves fast across to Dr. Black, who is not used to being interrupted.
Excuse me, if I could just interrupt for 1 second. Sorry, everyone. Routine inspection, Ministry of Art and Artiness. So, Dr. Black.
Yes, that's right. Do you actually know when that picture of the church was painted?
Well, what an interesting question.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to hurry you. When was it?
Exactly?
As exactly as you can, without a long speech, if possible. I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Well, in that case, probably somewhere between the 1st and 3rd of June.
Yes, what year?
1890, less than a year before Van Gogh killed himself.
Thank you, sir. Very helpful indeed. Nice bow tie. Bow ties are cool. Keep telling them stuff. Come on, we gotta go.
But what about the other pictures?
Art can wait. This is life and death. We need to talk to Vincent Van Gogh.
Titles. Interior TARDIS. Sorry, day 1. The doctor is at the controls of the TARDIS.
What did you see?
I saw what Van Gogh saw.
What do you mean?
Well, one of the great mistakes people make is that to think that artists are, on the whole, making stuff up. We all know that painters notice things in life that most people don't notice, but they're also really weird stuff that actually is there. Most people think they're figments of the artist's imagination, but they're not. For instance,
Slideshow of monsters and art on the big screen in the TARDIS. First, Fuseli's nighttime imp.
that's a praxis, and you definitely don't want that little fella coming into your bedroom while you're having a snooze. Or his friend with the big head. As for this piece, well, I've been there twice, both very bad holidays. And have you ever wondered why this guy was screaming? It was because he saw his bloke on the other side of the bridge.
Oh, not nice.
Not nice at all. Anyway, I saw something today in Van Gogh's picture that I've only ever seen once before in a scary kid's book when I was young.
I love this. Little boy doctor, were you wearing stripy PJs? Did you ever snuggle a tiny teddy with one ear?
No, quite a big one actually, with 4 ears as it happens. And I always completely assumed the monster was just a really nasty fairy tale story book thingy. But if Van Gogh's painted it, it must be real. And that is not good.
What sort of nasty thingy?
Oh, that's the problem. I don't know. The last time I looked at the book was 900 years ago. But I do remember one thing about it.
And that was what?
The monster killed everything else in the story. Okay, I think we're there.
He heads to the doors, seems to hesitate.
What's wrong?
For 900 years, I thought it was just a scary thing in a book. Now I'm going to meet it. Brilliant, eh?
Cut to exterior cobbled back street, night 1. The TARDIS materializes in a back street of 19th century cobbled French town. A cat screeches in shock. The doctor and Amy emerge and head through the town perkily.
Lovely night. Very starry.
The local walks past, unimpressed by his cheerful mood.
So, we're looking for Vincent Van Gogh.
Not your horrid storybook thing?
No! Vincent first. We know he's going to paint the church, and we know the creature will be there in the window. So, we just need to follow Vincent, and he'll lead us right to our nasty friend.
A crash not too far away. The doctor jumps.
What was that?
But we see down the street, a woman picks up a large metal tray full of pots and pans that she dropped. The doctor is a bit jumpy.
Okay.
And then what do we do? You said the creature in the book was a killer.
Right. And then we find him, and then I'll do a thing.
You don't have a plan, do you?
I just said I'll do a thing.
Yeah, that's not a plan. Not
No,
a plan.
no, it's a thing. It's like a plan with more grayness. Now, it's near midnight. Then the Cafe Terce is where Mr. Van Gogh will be. Sort of changey light, chairs and tables outside.
Oh, like this.
Exterior, Cafe Night 1. She points out the painting in her book.
That's the one.
Oh, indeed, like that.
And they're sure enough in front of them, is Cafe Terrace. Perhaps less blazing than the painting, but obviously exactly the place.
Yes, exactly like that.
They reach it. Joseph, the cafe owner, waiters, and tables outside. It's Joseph Michael Guinaud, who Van Gogh painted.
Good evening. Does the name Vincent Van Gogh ring a bell?
Huh.
He moves inside in disgust. Clearly, Van Gogh is not one of his favorite customers. The doctor approaches two grumpy waitresses loitering.
Excuse me, do you know Vincent Van Gogh?
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately.
yes, he's drunk and he's mad and he never pays his bills.
Good painter, though.
Ha!
And they both walk away scornfully.
So, you may not turn out to be the easiest fellow in town.
There's a sound of shouting from the inside. The cafe owner comes out, followed by Vincent van Gogh, who holds a small painting. It is the famous self-portrait with straw hat.
Henry, this is going to be you. You're going to be Van Gogh from here until about page 30. Henry? You get to play Van Gogh if you want to. Can you see the script? I'll let him give him a chance to unmute here.
Right.
So, can you see it okay, Henry? Or is that too small?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes, you're playing Van Gogh.
I can only just hear what you're saying.
Oh, you're playing Van Gogh
Oh, right, okay.
up to page 30?
Yeah, I'm there. So I just carry on then?
Yes, go and say his lines.
Come on. One painting for one drink. That's not a bad deal.
And Matthew, this is you. Matthew?
It wouldn't be a bad deal if the painting were any good. I could put that up on my wall and scare the customers half to death. Bad enough having you in here in person, let alone looming over the customers day and night in a stupid hat. You pay money or you get out.
Well, I'll pay for if you like.
They both turn on him.
What?
Well, if you like, I'll pay for the drink, or I'll pay for the painting, and you can use the money to pay for the drink.
And who exactly are you?
Oh, I'm new in town.
Van Gogh, not friendly.
Well, in that case, you don't know three things. One, I pay for my own drinks, thank you. Two, no one ever buys any of my paintings or they'd be laughed out of town. So, if you want to stay in town, I suggest you keep your cash to yourself. And three, your friend's cute, but you should keep your big nose out of other people's business. Now, come on, just one more drink. I'll pay tomorrow.
No.
Or, on the other hand, slightly more compassionately, yes.
Or on the other hand, to protect my business from madmen, no.
Or, on the other hand, to protect
Look,
my...
shut up, the pair of you. I would like a bottle of wine, please, which I will then share with whomever I choose.
A big smile from Vincent.
That could be good.
That's good by me.
Good. 3 glasses, please, and I don't want them delivered by either of those 2 grumpy numbers. Thank you.
She means the waitresses. That makes Vincent happy too. They bond instantly. Cut to interior cafe, night 1. Inside the cafe, they sit in a corner at a table with Van Gogh. He has a weary man's face, orange hair and a beard. And by the side of the table, another famous late painting sits casually leaning against a chair, possibly the sleepers on the haystack. Generally, Vincent is back to being a little unwelcoming, self-conscious, and self-protective. Beneath this scene, there is a profound melancholy.
That accent of yours, you from Holland, like me?
Yes.
No?
She means yes.
Where are you from?
England. Well, sort of.
I have very happy memories of London.
I didn't know you'd been to London.
You don't know me at all. Why would you know whether I'd been to London or not?
Good point. So start again. We should introduce ourselves. Amy, this is Vincent. Vincent, this is Amy.
How do you know my name's Vincent?
Yes, good question. You look like Vincent. My uncle Vincent, actually. Very similar bone structure. Start again. Hello, I'm the doctor.
Ah,
Sorry.
my brother's always sending doctors, but you won't be able to help. I am what I am.
No, not that kind of doctor. By a painting. Sorry. Look at that. Incredible. Don't you think, Amy?
Absolutely. It's one of my favorites.
One of your favorite whats?
Yes, one of my favorite paintings that I've ever seen, generally.
Oh, you can't have seen many paintings then. I know it's terrible, but it's the best I could do. Your hair is orange.
Yes, so's yours.
There is an instant frankness between them. Many people are scared of him. She's not.
Yes, it was more orange, but now is, of course, streaked with the grey.
Good. I sometimes worry real orange is a bit silly.
Vincent.
So, Vincent, painted any churches recently? Any churchy plans? Churches, chapels, religious stuff like that? Something you'd like to get into? You know, fairly soon.
Well, there's one church I'm thinking of painting when the weather's right.
That is very good news.
Sound of screaming from outside.
That, on the other hand, isn't quite such good news.
A woman comes in screaming blue murder. They charge into the streets. Exterior village streets, night 1. They follow the sound of screaming through the streets. The doctor gets there early. A wailing woman over a broken, twisted body, only half glimpsed, just enough to see that this is a girl, and she's terribly injured. The doctor is at the girl's side with a flash. He's gently moving the wailing woman out of the way.
Please, let me look. I'm a doctor. Let me help her.
The woman is sobbing violently.
Oh. Is that me saying this?
Yes.
Is she dead?
The doctor looks up at him, profoundly serious. And now a truly terrible cry, a distraught woman is shoving.
Get away, all you vultures! This is my daughter.
She's sobbing over the body now, holding the dead girl.
Giselle, oh my dead girl. Oh my Giselle, get away from her.
Sorry.
Well, Madame Verney, this man meant no harm. He was only trying to,
Get that
well,
madman out of here.
A man beside her charges at Van Gogh, roaring as though he were a danger. A child follows, throwing a stone at him. Cries of, "Get away! Leave us! Leave our town!"
oh,
You bring this on us. Your madness. You.
Stones are being hurled at Van Gogh. He's got his arms up, shielding himself, backing away. The
oh,
doctor tries to shield him. Suddenly, another scream.
Oh, she's dead. My baby's dead.
Everything falls still for a moment. The doctor looks at Van Gogh, so grim now, under that angry. From Joker to Avenger. Hero moment.
I think you better paint that church tomorrow.
Cut 2, exterior, village streets, night 1. They walk along together, recovering.
Are you all right?
yes, I'm used to it. You pay the price for being different. And when people get scared, they lash out. They need someone to attack.
Doctor straight back to urgent business.
Anything like this murder happened before?
Only a week ago. It's a terrible time.
Any sightings of the killer? Any actual descriptions?
Not that I've heard of. No.
As I thought. Come on, we better get you home.
Where are you staying tonight?
Oh, you're very kind.
Van Gogh looks askance. That's not what he meant at all. Amy gives him an innocent smile. Exterior track, night 1. They make their way up a hill through dramatic countryside.
It's not much. I live on my own, but you should be okay for one night. One night.
Gonna stay with him?
Till he paints that church.
Exterior yellow house, night 1. As they approach the house, we see shadows of slightly strange square objects piled up everywhere. They are his paintings.
Watch out! That's wet!
What?
We don't really see anything, just the shape of canvas hanging as if from a washing line. Meanwhile, Van Gogh opens the door to his house. Cut 2, interior Van Gogh's house, main room, night 1. It is pitch dark.
I am sorry about all the clutter.
As he lights up candles, you can see the whole place is absolutely full of his most famous paintings. On the walls, leaning against the wall, on the furniture, some finished, some just first sketches and everything in between.
Some clutter.
Oh, some clutter.
As he potters around, lighting lamps, they are transfixed by the paintings.
Wow. I mean, really, wow.
We cut through some of the paintings.
Coffee, anyone?
He puts the messy coffee pot down on top of a famous painting we have glimpsed in the museum.
Not for me, actually. You know, you should be careful with those. With these, they're precious.
Precious to me, not precious to anyone else.
Precious to me.
Well, you're very kind, and kindness is most welcome.
Doctor, eager to get on.
Right, so this church then. Near here, is it?
What is it with you and the church?
Oh, just casually interested in it, you know?
Well, far from casual, seems to me you never talk about anything else. Oh, he's a strange one.
Oh, don't worry, there's method in his madness. No offense.
None taken.
Okay, let's talk about you then. What are you interested in?
Well, look around you. Art. What else is there that makes any difference in this world of woe?
And he's instantly intense. The problem with Van Gogh is that he can't control his moods and passions. He's much too intense for normal people.
It seems to me there's so much more to the world than the average eye is allowed to see. I believe that if you look hard, there are more wonders in this universe than you could ever have dreamed of.
The doctor will take him as he comes.
You don't have to tell me. And actually, yes, maybe I will have that coffee. Coffee after all.
Cut 2, interior Van Gogh house, main room, night 1. Vincent, an intense one-to-one with the doctor over coffee. Vincent's on a roll, forceful.
It's color that holds the key. I can hear the colors. Listen to them. Every time I step outside, I feel nature is shouting at me. Come on, come and get me. Capture my mystery.
He's always on the edge of being too passionate.
Maybe you've had enough coffee now. How about some nice calming tea? Let's get you a cup of chamomile or something, shall we? Amy! Amy!
Maybe she's dropped off to sleep. I'll check the other room.
Cut to exterior/interior Van Gogh house, stairs/bedroom, night 1. Van Gogh is halfway up the outside stairs. He opens the door to the most famous room, his famous blue bedroom. It's empty. He instantly closes it again and heads back down the stairs. Cut to interior Van Gogh house, main room, night 1. Van Gogh re-enters.
Anything?
No.
And suddenly, screaming.
Oh,
Oh no.
Cut to exterior yellow house, night 1. They run towards the shouting and find Amy on the ground, terrified, the arm of her clothes torn.
What happened?
I don't know. I didn't see. I was just having a look at the paintings out here when something hit me from behind.
What did it look like?
what do you mean, it?
He then. What did he look like?
I told you I couldn't see.
Well, don't worry. He's gone and we're here.
Suddenly, Van Gogh screams.
No.
Van Gogh charges at the wall, throws himself against it, screaming.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
What's happening?
Don't worry. I'll deal with it. Stop it. Stop now. Stop it.
There is raging. Grabbing his arms from behind, stopping him from hurting himself.
No, let me in. Let me at him, he'll kill her.
There's no one here. There's no one here.
Vincent breaks away.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
Run!
He picks up a big stick that is standing nearby and starts to thrash about in front of him.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Amy, get away. He's having some kind of fit.
FX, the cut to what Van Gogh is actually seeing. It's the monster we glimpsed in the picture. It is horrible. In this first fight, it is all fragmentary impressions, flashes, tiny glimpses, nothing coherent, just fearful detail.
I'll try to calm him down.
He approaches him, tries to come in the front of Vincent to take him by the shoulders. At that, we see a sudden glimpse of Vincent's point of view. The innocent doctor stepping in front of the monster. The monster hits the doctor, then cut sideways by an invisible force. In the thrashing, we see a sudden, terrible triple appear in one of Van Gogh's paintings hanging outside. The doctor is on the ground, not the slightest worried by having been hit. In fact, suddenly enlivened by having worked it out.
Well, now that's interesting.
He finds another stick, probably a sharpening washing line or something, and steps up heroically beside his friend.
Let me help.
You can see him too?
Yes. Ish. Well, no, not really.
FX, the fight goes on a little. We see it from all angles as the two men stab and push spears. Sometimes we see the doctor's point of view. Nothing. Then Van Gogh's, a frantic, blurred glimpse of the attacking, furious monster. Then a shot of the two of them, apparently fighting against nothing. FX. And finally, the monster is stabbed. We have a tiny glimpse of yellow blood squirting. The doctor keeps fighting for a few seconds after Van Gogh has stopped.
He's gone.
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
You couldn't see him.
No, but I knew you could.
Van Gogh.
My friend.
Well, no. You're the friend here. You saved her life.
Well, if I haven't done so, it is the greatest achievement of my life. May you live forever.
Oh, thanks. Though, actually, of the three of us, I suspect I'm the only one who won't.
Let's get inside. We've got a lot to talk about.
Exterior, yellow house, night 1. Cut to a glimpse of the exterior, and something is moving through it, breaking branches, rustling stones. Interior, cut to interior Van Gogh's house, main room, night 1. Back at home, Vincent sits in shock.
Oh,
Right. So what did he look like?
not human, but no animal we know either, and the eyes.
What were the eyes like?
Oh, without mercy.
Okay. I need you to draw exactly what you saw.
Give him a minute to recover.
He can recover later. There's a killer out there, and we've got to stop it. We can't go till you know exactly what we're stopping.
Well, okay. I'll paint him.
Van Gogh picks up a slightly unfamiliar version of a familiar themed painting, irises perhaps, and before Amy and the doctor can do anything about it, he swooshes whitewash over it.
Oh no!
What?
Nothing.
What?
It's just that was quite a good. No. You go on. Go on. On you go.
Okay.
Cut forward a few minutes, Van Gogh has the now white, rough canvas on a table, and in a series of quick cuts, he swiftly paints a rough image of the monster and shows it to the doctor.
Okay. Not bad. But I need more real info. If we're going to beat this thing, I need to know more than. It clearly resembles something that turned up in a bunch of stories sold with the slogan, Sons of Gallifrey, sleep no more. Right. Amy, make Mr. Van Gogh comfortable. Don't let any invisible monsters in through the front door.
But it might be outside waiting.
I'll risk it. What's the worst that can happen?
You could get torn into pieces by a monster you can't see.
Oh, yes, that. Don't worry. I'll be back before you say, where's he gone now?
And as he leaves, he leaves, and then instantly comes straight back to scare them, really.
Not that fast, but pretty fast. See you around.
He leaves. Cut to exterior track, night 1. Cut outside as the doctor walks. We notice rustling on the road behind him. A branch snaps. A rock shuffles. He speeds up. Cut to exterior cobbled back street, night 1. The streets of the town, dark night. As the doctor walks along, we get a strong feeling he is being stalked. The camera seems to represent someone's viewpoint, following him mercilessly, but he makes it to the TARDIS just in time. Cut to interior TARDIS, night. Inside the TARDIS, the doctor is searching for something in an old box full of old bobs and bits of machinery.
Right, where are you? I can't apologize enough. Thought I'd never need you. Thought you were just an embarrassing present from a dull godmother with 2 heads and a bad breath twice. How wrong can a man be?
And finally, finds an old visual recognition system. It is a strange contraption, a mixture between a weird breastplate and an Apple Mac and a wing mirror. He looks into its mirrored surface, a whirring noise, and then suddenly comes up to the print with 5 other pictures of him. Name, Time Lord, planet, Gallifrey.
Good, okay. You're working.
The machine flicks back into mirror mode. We see the doctor's face again.
Now, see what you make of this.
He holds Van Gogh's picture of the monster up in front of it. 3 seconds of mirror. Then it transforms into the fact sheet, a picture of a big alien animal of sorts, and with facts. We know it's not right, like a savage polar bear.
No, it's not that. There are thousands of them, and you could see them plain as day.
Another effort by the machine. It shows a copy of the front of the book featuring the monster. It's an old-fashioned children's book design, like a woodcut, but definitely featuring something that resembles the monster we've seen. If you were interested in slightly fancy Roman writing at the bottom, integrated in the design, you might notice the title of the book, Blind Fury.
No, don't be silly. I know that. I want the thing itself, not the scary book about it.
It goes back into being a mirror, and then it throws up another incorrect wrong monster.
No, definitely not. This is the problem with the Impressionists, not accurate enough. This would never happen if Galensborough or one of those proper painters. Sorry, Vincent. You'll just have to draw something slightly better.
Exterior village streets, dawn, day 2. effects, the doctor leaves the TARDIS with the mirror machine on his shoulder. It reflects the street as he walks along, and then suddenly, in it, we see, really close reflected, the monster inches away. The doctor doesn't see it, but 3 seconds later, senses the mirror vibrating as it changes from mirror to fact sheet again.
Oh, well, that's better, old girl. Time delay, but you don't always get it right in the end. But you always get it right in the end.
On the screen is indeed an image of something very close to what we have glimpsed.
Good. Let's find out who you are then. Okay. And not okay at all. Well, there you are, you poor thing, you brutal, murderous, abandoned thing. I hope you meet as soon as I can take you home.
He pushes a button, the machine returns to a mirror, and then in the mirror he sees himself, and directly behind him, the snarling face of the monster.
Maybe not that soon.
He sprints away. We hear running behind him. He is clearly struck on the back of the head, stumbles left, jigs right to avoid a further blow, cuts right. It's a chase, but these winding thin alleys are not his friend, and finally he hides round a corner, feels safe.
Good. Job done, I think.
He holds the mirror machine around the corner like a wing mirror, and there is the monster, terrifying and powerful, charging straight at him.
Right, job not quite done.
And he runs again. As he sprints, he swerves past a chair outside a house, and behind him hears a slight crash, and he just registers the sound of the monster smashing into the chair behind him. A thought crosses his face. He races on and comes to a slightly wider street. It is clearly a market street of sorts. Lined up against the walls are stalls that have been moved to the side of the street. The thought crystallizes. As he runs, the doctor turns all the stalls, one after another, across the road, and hears crashing, pushing, falling, smashing, now getting further from him. He runs clear, the sound of breakage getting further away. He's done it. He's got away. He turns the final corner, exhausted. He turns to the next corner, and there, in a horror cut, is not the monster, but the scary, raging-eyed mother of the murdered girl.
No.
Matthew.
Do you know me?
Yes, you're the mother of the girl who died. I'm very sorry.
Oh, I'm here. Sorry. Was I supposed to take it?
Yep.
Yes.
Do you know me?
Yes, you're the mother of the girl who died. Oh, I'm very sorry.
Sorry is useless.
No, it isn't. It's because I'm sorry. I promise you no more daughters will die that we're here. But today I also saw you turn on a man and accuse him and throw stones at him just because he was different. Never again.
Or what?
I'm not threatening you. I'm telling you that it was a terrible thing. And when you do that, you are terrible. And I'm saying never, ever again.
I'm sorry.
Upbeat, the doctor just smiles.
No more daughters, I promise.
Madame Vernet turns and walks away. The doctor turns, and in another shock, there, inches from his face, is Amy. He starts.
Never do that! You'll scare the living daylights out of me.
I'm sorry. I got bored. As much as you admire his command of colour and shape, it is hard to get fond of Vincent van Gogh's snoring. What have you been up to?
A little research. Come on, back home.
Only if you're coming too.
As they walk away.
What the hell are you doing out here anyway? You could have got killed. You're a real idiot.
Oh, that depends on how you look at it. Another word for idiot could be attractive daredevil.
No, idiot's more accurate.
I think my recklessness is why you love me.
You said I love you.
Durr. Every single look you give me, every single word you speak to me shouts it out to the high heavens.
Wow, you really are an idiot.
Where we switch.
Cut to Interior, Vincent, Van Gogh house bedroom day 2. A hand knocks on the door of the famous bedroom,
Enter,
Enter!
enter.
and the
Oh,
doctor comes.
Henry, I'm Vincent now.
Wakes,
Oh, sorry.
wakey. Breakfast is served in the courtyard. Just simple stuff, I'm afraid.
Simple as all I have ever had.
To exterior Van Gogh house day 2. Vincent follows him. They walk casually on to the balcony, which is totally filled with lots and lots of sunflowers in lots and lots of vases and pots. They spread right down to the courtyard. Amy is pleased with herself as they see it.
I thought I'd brighten things up to thank you for saving me last night.
Ah, sunflowers.
I thought you might like it. Possibly to. I thought you might like to possibly perhaps paint them or something. Might be a thought.
Yes, they're not my favorite flower.
You don't like sunflowers?
No, it's not that I don't like them. I find them complex, always somewhere between living and dying, half human as they turn to the sun. A little disgusting. But they're a challenge.
And one I'm pretty sure you would rise to. But moving on, if you could step inside for 1 minute.
To interior Van Gogh house main room day 2. They are standing in the main room, Van Gogh and Amy facing the doctor.
I think we ought to talk about it. This fella.
He holds up the mirror computer with the picture of the monster, or a printout of the picture. It shocks Van Gogh.
Him! That is him! That is a picture of him!
Thought as much.
Who is he?
This is a creature called the Crafeus. They travel in space. They travel as a pack, scavenging across the universe, and sometimes one of them gets left behind. And because they are a brutal race, the others never come back. So the Crafeus is abandoned forever, with no hope of rescue. My guess is that he probably then kills for food.
Well, there was no sign of that with the little girl we saw.
No, he must have been disturbed before he could enjoy his meal. Isn't it depressing how few intergalactic creatures live on applies or mangoes or apples or custard? Oh, but no, flesh it is. So, dotted all around the universe are individual, utterly merciless, utterly abandoned Crafeus. And what they do is, well, kill until they're killed, which they usually aren't because other creatures can't see them.
But I can.
Yes, and that is why we are in a unique position today to end this reign of terror.
Amy has been thinking the story through.
He's a kind of alien shark on land, then.
Yes, or a brutal flesh-eating ET, determined to eat lots of little Elliots.
What is E.T.?
Oh, no, that's too much explaining. So, feeling like painting the church today?
Yes, if it were not for this monster we're chasing, today would be a nice stormy day for painting the church.
Then, painting the church is what we'll do.
What about the monster?
Take my word for it. If you paint it, he will come.
Okay, I'll get my things.
In your own time, then I promise you we'll be out of your hair by this time tomorrow.
Van Gogh heads out to go to his bedroom. The doctor is urgent with Amy.
This is risky.
Riskier than normal?
Well, think about it. This is the beginning of Vincent van Gogh's greatest year of painting. If we're not careful, Van Gogh won't kill himself. He'll be killed, and the monster will still roam free. And the net result of our pleasant little trip will be for the brutal murder of the greatest artist who ever lived. Half the pictures on the wall of the Musée d'Orsay will suddenly disappear, and it will be our fault.
Cut to exterior interior Van Gogh house bedroom day 2. A knock on the door of the bedroom.
Vincent! Vincent?
He enters from the balcony into the bedroom. Vincent is lying on his bed, face turned away.
Can I help?
Vincent turns on him. He is in the darkest mood.
It is so clear you cannot help. And when you leave, and everyone always leaves, I will be left once more with an empty heart and no hope.
Oh, my experience is that there is, surprisingly, always hope.
Then your experience is incomplete. I know how it will end, and it will not end well.
Oh, come on. Come out. Oh, let's.
Vincent's coherence is slipping a little.
No! You out! You get out! What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Very well, I'll leave you.
Cut to exterior Van Gogh house balcony day 2. He comes out to the balcony. Amy has overheard and is halfway up the stairs.
What's happening?
We're leaving. I feel stupid. I mean, everyone knows he's a delicate man. Just months from now, he'll take his own life.
It strikes Amy hard now she's met him.
Don't say that. Please.
Okay, but this is no job for him.
Cut to interior Van Gogh house main room day 2. The doctor is gathering his things, packing up the mirror machine.
The mind's a terrible enemy, Amy. You should pray your life is full of cuts and bruises and blood and bone. And that's the easy stuff. Pain in your mind. Oh, that's the worst pain there is. Oh, come on. We have to do this on our own. Go to the church at the right time and hope the monster still turns up.
And the door opens behind him, and Van Gogh stands there.
I'm ready. Let's go.
The doctor turns, puzzled.
I know. I'm not an easy man. Don't hate me for it.
Cut to exterior track, day 2. They are walking, Van Gogh in the lead, carrying a lot of his painting gear. Amy moves up to join him.
I'm sorry you're so sad.
But I'm not. Sometimes these moods torture me for weeks, for months, like black blood dripping through my brain. But I'm good now.
He grips Amy's hand.
If Amy Pond can soldier on, then so can Vincent Van Gogh.
I'm not soldiering on. I'm fine.
Oh, Amy, I hear the song of your sadness. But then I see your smile.
Continued on Amy, troubled now, haunted.
I'm not sad.
Then why are you crying?
Amy, a single tear trickling down her face. In shock, she wipes it away. What? Why is she crying? On the doctor behind, sad and worried.
It's all right. I understand.
I'm not sure I do.
The doctor does, but there's no point talking about it.
Okay. So now we must have a plan. When the creature returns...
We shall fight him again.
Well, yes. Tick. But last night we were lucky. Amy could have been killed. So for a start, this time we have to make sure I can see him too.
And how are we meant to do that suddenly?
Well, the answer is in this box. I had an excellent, smelly grandmother.
Cut to exterior track, day 2. They head through the village and see ahead the morbid line of mourners in black, accompanying the coffin of the girl who died. They stand respectfully aside as the column passes. The last in line is Madame Vernet, who looks directly at Van Gogh. She gives a courteous little nod of greeting.
Monsieur Van Gogh.
Van Gogh is genuinely startled. No one ever greets him.
Madame Vernet.
She turns to the doctor as she passes.
Leave now. Save yourself.
Sorry, no can do. Made you a promise.
As the funeral party heads on,
Do you ever do that? Just leave?
Oh, no. Don't you know yet? Oh, that's the last thing about us. We never leave.
And then we always leave.
And then, as you say, we do always move on eventually.
On Van Gogh, overhearing this, a brief, bleak reminder this is temporary. His new friends are going. Cut 2, exterior Church of Auvers, afternoon, day 2. They are arriving at the church. Its details look exactly like the famous church. It is a windy afternoon.
So, let's say you can actually see the monster. What's the plan then?
Well, after some thought, it's the same plan as usual, really.
What's that?
The screwdriver.
What about it?
If I can find the right chrysactic setting, I'll, well, do a thing. Stun the Crathais, drag it unconscious to the TARDIS, and take it home, where it can do no harm.
Or you could dump it in Glasgow.
Yes, or there, where it might actually do some good.
If the screwdriver doesn't work, the whole plan seems to be based on hope rather than actual facts.
Oh, to hell with facts. Give me hope every time.
Vincent is setting himself up, chair from the bedroom, an easel, and brushes and canvas.
Wild afternoon. You going to be able to stand that thing up?
Yes, look. I stick it into the ground.
The 4 legs of the easel have points on the ends of them. Van Gogh pushes them into the earth.
Oh, very clever.
Now Van Gogh is in such a good mood.
My own design. At least now when the wind blows, I only lose the painting.
The doctor and Amy are enjoying his chatty high spirits.
No wonder they thought I was mad back in Holland. This insane red-haired fool sprinting through a potato field chasing 3 bits of wood and a half-painted picture of a haystack.
Can we help in any way? Pass the paints, fill in bits. I'm good. I never go over the line.
No, thanks. But it's a great joy just to have you with me. Loneliness is a terrible thing. Just the pleasure of showing a canvas to a friend at the end of the day, that's really something.
That extraordinary emotional openness and sighs. And he begins to sketch the outline of the church. Amy hugs him. She loves him.
You're a lovely girl. The man who marries you will be a very lucky fellow.
Well, I'm looking forward to meeting him.
And you'll tell me if you see any, monsters.
Yes, I may be mad. I'm not stupid.
No, quite. And to be honest, not sure about mad either. I mean, it seems to me depression is a very complex.
Shh! I'm working.
Well, yes. Paint. Do painting.
Amy and him exchange looks. She is asking him, don't you ever shut up. Continued. Cut on a moment. The picture is starting to take shape. The doctor paces and mutters to Amy. He doesn't take well to inactivity. Van Gogh at hard work on the sky.
Sky, sky, sky. I remember watching Michelangelo painting the Sistine Chapel. Oh, wow. What a winger. I kept saying to him, look, if you were scared of heights, you shouldn't have taken the job, mate.
The painting has progressed even further.
And Picasso, oh, what a ghastly old goat. I kept telling him, it's one eye, either side of the face.
It.
Sorry. No, not used to waiting.
Again, the painting has moved on. We're getting close.
Is this how time normally passes? I mean, really slowly? In the right order? You must all be so bored. Ugh. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's an unpunctual alien attack.
You okay? You seem a bit... If I didn't know better, I'd say nervous.
When you were a kid, was there a monster under your bed?
Of course.
What if you grew up one day and someone offered to introduce you? Of course, I'm nervous. Whatever's in that church? I've been nervous of it for 900 years.
And then, suddenly,
There! He's at the window.
Where?
There!
we look at the window, nothing. We look at the painting, and the figure is starting to take shape as Van Gogh paints it in one of the big lower Gothic windows.
I'm going in.
I'm coming too.
No! You're Vincent van Gogh.
Oh,
No.
Slightly taken aback, Vincent accepts it. He opens the box and swiftly puts on his contraption.
then you must be armed.
I am.
What with?
Overconfidence. This. And a small screwdriver. Oh, I'm absolutely sorted. Amy, only one instruction. Don't follow me under any circumstances.
I won't.
You promise? You double promise, swear on the lives of everyone you've ever met.
I promise.
The doctor heads off. Van Gogh knows he really is mad.
Will you follow him?
Of course.
I love you.
Vincent loves that ballsiness and gets a huge smile in reply. Cut to interior Church of Auvers, main room, night 2. Scary shit as the doctor enters the church through a side door. It is a big old spooky church full of arches and pillars and shadows and strange tombs. He opens the box and puts on his contraption. The doctor moves forward cautiously, until suddenly he sees the distinctively shaped windows where the monster was standing. Obviously, there is nothing there. He moves slowly towards the one on the right, where Van Gogh saw the monster. He kneels and turns to look in the mirror, but nothing there.
Damn, he's moved.
Exterior Church of Auvers, night 2.
Has he moved?
No, just shifted to the next window. But wait, he's turning now.
Interior Church of Auvers, main room, night 2. FX, cut back to the doctor, quite casually looking in the little mirror. Suddenly a flash, a glimpse of an alien arm in the mirror, which instantly smashes the mirror and knocks it out of the doctor's hands. A huge roaring. Exterior Church of Auvers, night 2. She rushes off.
Amy!
Vincent calls after her, very worried. Cut to interior Church of Auvers, confessional room, night 2. The doctor is scrabbling away, trying to avoid his unseen attacker. We can hear striking motion and noise and things crashing, but see nothing. The doctor rushes round a corner and crashes straight into Amy.
Yeah.
I thought I told you.
They sense something behind them,
We'll talk about it later. Quick, in here.
and they both slip into a wooden confessional booth that is just there, with purple curtaining.
Absolutely quiet. Can you breathe a little quieter, please?
No.
Tension as they hear something knocked over outside, and then monster clearly heading past, creaking or swooshing of tail.
He's gone past.
Shh.
Total silence. Then crash! Something, presumably a claw, is smashing through the wall of the confessional. It's like The Shining with an invisible axe.
I think he heard us. Oh, that is impressive hearing he's got there. Ooh, what's less impressive are our chances of survival.
The internal grid between them smashes. The monster is clearly within inches of their faces. Death is moments away when they hear a shout.
Are you looking for me, Sonny?
They exchange glances. Suddenly the slashing stops. Cut outside, there is Van Gogh wielding his famous chair.
Come on! Come on!
The doctor looks out of the cupboard to see this insane sight of Van Gogh fighting with the chair, coaxing the invisible monster out of the room. We might just see a flash of what Van Gogh sees, the threatening fighting monster. The doctor and Amy start to follow him. Cut to interior Church of Auvers, chamber, night 2. Van Gogh is still fighting off the monster when Amy and the doctor enter.
Over here! Amy, get behind me!
Amy charges round behind Van Gogh.
Where is he?
Where do you think he is, you idiot? Use your head!
Good point.
The doctor aims the screwdriver where he can see the monster must be. He zaps it violently.
Anything?
Nothing. In fact, he seemed to rather enjoy it. Duck!
Through Van Gogh's eyes, we see the monster swipe the doctor.
Left!
The doctor moves and is struck hard in the stomach.
Oh, right. Sorry. You're right. My left.
Oh, this is no good at all. Run like crazy and regroup.
They all run away fast. Cut to interior Church of Auvers Vault, Night 2. They race through a big door, which they shut violently behind them, possibly even catching the chasing monster's tail for a split second. Breathless, they lean against the door.
Right. Okay. Here's the plan. Amy, Rory,
Who?
sorry, Vincent,
What? What's the plan?
Little pause.
I don't know actually. My only definite plan is that in the future, I'm definitely just using this screwdriver for screwing in screws.
I do have one thought. How we can at least defend ourselves? Give me a second. I'll be back.
He charges off. The doctor muses casually.
I suppose we could try talking to him.
Talking to him?
Well, yes, it might be interesting to know his side of the story.
They hear a nasty roar outside.
Ah, yes. Though maybe he's not really in the mood for conversation right at this precise moment.
Suddenly, the bashing on the door intensifies. It feels like it is starting to break.
Okay, no harm trying. Listen, listen!
And miraculously, the bashing stops.
I know you can understand me, even though I know you won't understand why you can understand me. And I also know that no one's talked to you for a pretty long stretch. But please, listen. I also don't belong on this planet. I also am alone. If you trust me, I'm sure we can come to some kind of, understanding. And then, who knows?
And suddenly, the window to their left smashes through. The monster has clearly used the doctor's speech to cunningly regroup. Amy screams. Vincent appears from the back. He brandishes his famous easel, holding it as though it is a weapon.
Over here, mate!
They run to behind him and all slightly shelter behind a pillar or corner.
How did the conversation go?
Quite badly. Oh, what's it up to now?
Vincent peers out. He talks very quietly. They don't want to attract the monster's attention again.
It's moving around the room, feeling its way towards the door.
What?
It's like it's trapped. It's moving around the edges of the room.
I am really stupid.
Rick, this isn't a moment to reevaluate your self-esteem.
No, I'm really stupid, and I'm growing old. Why is it feeling its way around the edge of the room? Why does it always attack and not eat its victims? And why, until now, did I pay no attention to the name of the book?
What was it?
It was called Blind Fury.
Possible flashback to when the mirror revealed the book, and sure enough, on closer inspection, that is its name.
It can't see. It's blind. And that, of course, explains why it has perfect hearing.
Which, unfortunately, also explains why it is now turning round and heading straight for us.
Sudden noise.
What's happening?
It's charging! Get back! Get back!
We hear a roar and the crashing of feet as it charges towards them, and a flash of the actual monster charging in its full, ghastly glory. Van Gogh holds out the easel, cowering away from the massive monster. He is knocked backwards. We catch a tiny glimpse of the easel meeting flesh, and a huge groan. A moment of shock as the easel falls from his hands. We see something move and fall, the tail or the jaws.
Oh no! I didn't mean that to happen. I only meant to wound it. I didn't mean to kill him. He wasn't without mercy at all. He was without sight. And he'd been lonely for 100 years.
Van Gogh looking straight at those eyes that we now understand to be blind. They move or open a little, and out of the monster comes a coherent sound, weird, guttural, but clearly not just a groan. He's trying to say some. Oh, sorry.
Yes, he is. He's trying to say something.
What is it?
I'm having trouble making it out, but I think he's saying, I am afraid.
Big final sigh of breath shows the monster is now dead. Van Gogh's head sinks.
And now it's all coming back to me. In the book, all the monster said was, fear me. But clearly he was saying the opposite.
On to a few minutes later, they have sunk to the floor where they were, exhausted.
He was frightened, and he lashed out like humans who lash out when they're frightened, like the villagers who scream at me, like the children who throw stones at me.
It's the possibility you don't consider, isn't it?
Hmm.
That the thing under your bed is scared of you, too. Oh, sometimes winning is no fun at all.
No, but don't forget, Doctor, lives have been saved, and one life in particular.
They both look at Van Gogh, and yes, in a weary way, they are happy. Cut to exterior landscape night 2. They are lying in a kind of triangle on the ground, exhausted after the battle.
Hold my hand, Doctor. Try to see what I see. We are so lucky to have eyes to see this beautiful world.
The three of them link hands.
Look at the sky. It's not dark and black and without character. Look, the black is in fact deep blue, and over there lighter blue, and blowing through the blueness of the blackness, the wind swirling through the air, and then shining, burning, bursting through the stars. And see how they roar their light, and below the whole earth shifts and sways in strange harmony everywhere we look. The complex magic of nature blazes before our eyes. If you could see the things I have seen.
I have seen many things, my friend, but you're right. Nothing as wonderful as the things you see.
And as they look up at the sky, it magically, slowly transforms into the swirling, shining, glorious sky of Van Gogh's Starry Night.
I will miss you terribly.
Cut to exterior village, dawn, day 3. A shot of village, very first glimmer of dawn, their final day coming. Cut to exterior Van Gogh house, main room, day 3. Later that morning, Van Gogh and the doctor by the door.
Back to England.
Sort of.
Let me give you a painting to remember me by.
He turns and picks up the straw hat famous self-portrait.
Oh, no. I could never accept such an extraordinary gift.
Ha! Very droll. Please, I only wish I had something of real value.
No, seriously, I couldn't. And we're traveling in a very small carriage, and frankly, I couldn't afford the insurance.
Very well. You are not the first to decline the offer. Amy, the blessed, the wonderful.
He hugs her, kisses her
Mwah.
cheek. She hugs him
Mwah.
back.
Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself.
I'll try my best.
And maybe give the beard a little trim before you next kiss someone.
Oh!
Vincent roars with laughter as Amy rubs her slightly sore cheek.
I will. And if you tire of this doctor of yours, return, and we will have children by the dozen.
Van Gogh then turns to the doctor, a profound farewell.
Doctor, my friend, we have fought monsters together, and we have won. On my own, I fear I may not do as well.
Cut to exterior Van Gogh house, day 3. Amy and the doctor shut Van Gogh's door behind them, or if the last scene was set outside, they stop a few yards later. Instantly, the doctor has an idea.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I was thinking I may need some food or something before we leave.
Well, no. You're not thinking exactly what I'm thinking.
He turns and knocks on the door again, or returns to the door if the scene before was outside. Van Gogh answers.
Vincent?
Yes?
Yes, a little something I'd like to show you. Maybe just tidy yourself up a bit.
Cut to interior street, TARDIS, day 3. They are turning the corner towards the TARDIS.
Now, you know we've had quite a few chats about the possibility there might be more to life than normal people imagine.
Yes?
Well, brace yourself, Vinny.
They turn the corner. There is the TARDIS. It has been standing so long that someone has used it to post some old-fashioned posters for a circus or dance hall. They approach. The doctor tears off a poster and opens the door. They walk into the TARDIS. Cut to interior street TARDIS, day 3. Vincent enters. He looks around. He doesn't say anything. He then steps outside again and walks right round the box and then comes back in, then stands astride the threshold, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, looks up at Amy and the doctor at his most intelligent and humane.
I like the blue. Not so sure about the color scheme on the inside, but
Amy and the doctor laugh.
how come I'm the crazy one and you two have stayed sane? You don't live in the real world at all.
Well, that's not strictly true. We live in the real universe, and I just thought we'd share it with you because of all the men on Earth, I think you deserve to see what's really going on.
What do these things all do?
Well, a huge variety of things.
Mm.
This one here, for instance, plays soothing music. Well, this one makes a huge amount of noise.
Ooh.
Pulls the lever, lots of noise.
And this one makes everything go absolutely tonto.
Pulls another lever and everything jerks and judders like crazy. People familiar with the TARDIS would realize something is going on.
And this one?
That's a friction contrafibulator.
And this?
A big red button.
That's ketchup, and the yellow one's mustard.
Sure enough, there is a big yellow button too.
I remember when I first saw the house I live in, the man who owned it said, "It's really unique, a lot bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside." What a liar he turned out to be.
They all laugh.
Come on, back to the cafe. We'll have a crate of wine and you can tell me about all the wonders of the universe.
Good idea. Although, actually, there's just a little something I'd like to show you first.
Cut to interior Musée d'Orsay, Paris streets, day 3. They open the door of the TARDIS, but instead of being in the old village, they are now parked outside the Musée d'Orsay in modern Paris.
Where are we?
Paris, 2010 AD, and this is the mighty Musée d'Orsay, home to many of the greatest paintings in history.
They step out. Van Gogh is in a state of wonder, but is instantly distracted by a boogie box, which is playing chances by Athlete.
Ignore that. I've got something more important to show you.
As the quiet verse of the song plays, we see them enter the big main hall, go up the elevators, at one point pass a huge poster with Van Gogh on it, then pass some paintings by other artists, maybe Seurat, Gauguin, Monet. But then, at the song's huge and ecstatic chorus, they enter the room full of Van Gogh's painting and crowded with excited viewers. Cut to interior Van Gogh room, Musée d'Orsay, day. Van Gogh is overcome with emotion as he sees the magnificent display of his works utterly filling the crowded room, including a whole group of school children. As Vincent keeps looking, the doctor sees Dr. Black, who we met at the start, approaching with a group.
Oh, we met a few days ago.
He flashes his psychic paper at him again.
I asked you about the Church of Auvers.
Ah, yes, glad to be of help. You were very nice about my tie.
Yes, and today is another cracker, if I may say so. But I just wondered, between you and me, in 100 words, where do you think Van Gogh rates in the history of art?
As Dr. Black speaks to the doctor, Van Gogh stands listening just behind his shoulder.
Well, a big question. But to me, Van Gogh is the finest painter of them all. Certainly the most popular great painter of all time, and the most beloved. His command of color, the most magnificent. He transformed the pain of his tormented life into ecstatic beauty. Pain is easy to portray, but to use all your passion and pain to portray the ecstasy and joy and magnificence of our world, no one has ever done it before. Perhaps no one will ever do it again. To my mind, the strange, wild man who roamed the fields of Provence was not only the world's greatest artist, but also one of the greatest men that ever lived.
Excellent. Oh, thank you.
The doctor turns back to Vincent, tears now in his eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this too much?
No, no. They are tears of joy.
Van Gogh walks over to Dr. Black and hugs him passionately.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sorry about the beard.
Black is very puzzled and thrown.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
And he walks away and turns, but the doctor and Vincent are gone. Cut to exterior olive grove, day 3. The TARDIS is in the olive grove near Van Gogh's house. They are saying goodbye.
This changes everything. I'll step out tomorrow with my easel on my back, a different man.
He hugs the doctor.
Though I still can't believe that one of the haystacks was in the museum. How embarrassing.
It's been a great adventure and a great honor.
And you've turned out to be the first doctor ever actually to make a difference to my life.
I'm delighted. I won't ever forget you.
And you are sure marriage is out of the question?
This time.
The final hug.
I'm not really the marrying kind.
And they step back into the TARDIS. Van Gogh turns, begins to walk away, the sound of the TARDIS disappearing behind him, and he walks away alone. Cut to interior TARDIS day 3. Amy is utterly exhilarated.
Let's go back.
Back where?
Back to the gallery. You remember you said if Vincent got killed by the monster, all the paintings would disappear.
Yes.
Well, let's go back now and see all the other stuff he painted. Can you imagine it? Hundreds of new Van Goghs.
Sure. But Amy, I must warn you, I don't think there will be any more paintings.
Of course there will. He was totally cheered up. There's no way he'll kill himself now.
Oh, Amy, if someone had a broken leg, would you be able to cure it just by giving him a piece of good news?
Of course not. But this is totally different.
Is it? I mean, the mind is a merciless enemy.
Come on now. Let's go, remember. Time can be rewritten.
To exterior Paris streets, day 3. Music plays as the TARDIS reappears outside the Musée d'Orsay, possibly even Vincent or Everlasting Arms by Mike Scott. The doctor and Amy are moving up that now familiar escalator. They come to the Van Gogh room. Amy very excited, the doctor not. Cut to interior Van Gogh room, day 3. They enter, and instantly Amy realizes it is exactly the same. No new paintings. The doctor holds her shoulders. Tears appear in her eyes.
So you were right. No new paintings. We didn't make a difference at all.
We hear a guide out of vision saying,
The last work of Vincent van Gogh, committed suicide at only 37.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that at all. The way I see it is that every life is a pile of good things and bad things, and the good things can't always soften the bad things, but vice versa. The bad things don't necessarily spoil the good things or make them unimportant. And we definitely added to his pile of good things.
This helps to console her.
And if you look carefully, maybe we did indeed make a couple of little changes.
He leads her to the church at Auvers painting.
No Crephius.
No Crephius. And
Amy is magnetically drawn to one of the famous sunflower paintings, and sure enough, there, in Van Gogh's big bold writing across the bottom, are the words "For Amy." She smiles.
If we had got married, our kids would have had very red hair.
the ultimate ginger.
The ultimate ginge. Brighter than sunflowers.
The end.
Yay! I really like Doctor Who. We should do some more Doctor Who for sure.
Yeah, this is like touching on artists or anything. Yeah, it's just so well written. Yeah, such a good show.
Yeah, it's such a great. Yeah, it does. It really does say something about that. As an artist, I agree. No. Seriously though, I think it's an amazing episode. I mean, it's got its light moments, it's dark, it's sad moments, and it's bright moments, sad moments, and it's like introspective ones, and also it's funny moments. It's got a lot of comedic humor too, which is great.
Kind of like what the guide said about his paintings, about bringing all the tragedy and awfulness to paint the goodness and the beauty.
Yeah, I feel like the result. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, as corny as Doctor Who can be, and it really is at times. I mean, the TARDIS,
The camp.
the whole concept of that, and many different aspects. You can scoff at it, but each episode has something very profound within it.
Yeah,
And
I've
this
only
one-
seen a few episodes, and then they have shorts on YouTube, and every time I see these shorts, I'm like, I really need to watch more Doctor Who. It's so good.
I am particularly fond of Matt Smith, who was the Doctor in this period of time, and also David Tennant.
David
Oh,
Tennant's
love
one of the
David Tennant.
greats. Yeah, I will say
My
that. I
fave.
love Blink. Blink
And
is one of the
together,
episodes I watched.
OMG, together
They're so great. Yeah, I've seen the Doctor Who special, one with John Hurt in it, and
Yeah.
oh, what a great that episode. I think was one of the greatest. It actually made me cry, and I didn't know anything that was going on. It was one of my first Doctor Who episodes. Such a great episode, and I think they did another one too that was very before John Hurt passed.
Yeah.
Which I haven't gotten to see yet, but it looks from the shorts, it looks so good.
If you stream,
Mhm.
this is worth streaming. I haven't watched the last couple of seasons, so I could do some catching up. And I haven't always liked who the Doctor was. I started watching back in the 70s, and so I've been watching this for a long time. No wonder I have the mug. Just saying.
Yes. I heard it got at least so I've watched some video essays on Doctor Who, and apparently in the 80s it got rather really far away from what it was like in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, like especially the women of Doctor Who, because it was an essay about the women of Doctor Who. And then with Chris, when they revitalized Doctor Who, they
Yes.
they revitalized even the companions. They made them quote unquote smart again, not just eye candy. And that continued like David Tennant, but there's a different sort of
Vibe.
And David Tennant, and I mean, like Chris, I can't remember his name. The first Doctor who they did for the first 4 years. They had Doctor
He's
Who back.
described as Eeyore because he's
Eeyore?
oh my, everything was so tragic, and is it ever going to work out? And it would.
So my first episode actually that I ever saw of Doctor Who was the last episode with him, when he became David Tennant, that was my introduction to Doctor Who.
Woo, David Tennant, yeah.
Yeah, and then I missed a lot of Doctor Who in between, but then I saw Blink and I saw the special. I think that was 2010 or 2011 when I saw it, and then I missed all of Matt Smith's, and I've seen it in some shorts, and then yeah, so it's been interesting.
I think
Uh,
you're missing out the whole first run of it, many
oh,
years.
I
You
am
know, I watched it right
absolutely.
from
I'm
the
missing a
beginning
lot of
in
it.
19 from the first one, 1962 or 3 or something. And
I mean, it's like Star Trek. You have to get through all of them. You have to
Yeah.
watch the
but it was
so eventually,
I
eventually I'll get through.
never missed one for the first whole run, and then it came off. But that was years and years. But it was just so exciting and very clunky, really. I mean, special effects wise back then, but
Again, like Star Trek.
still something.
But yeah, I mean, but a brilliantly clever show, I would say. And as you can tell, when the writing is good, it's really good.
Yes.
And it's a good parallel to Star Trek because when the writing is good with Star Trek, it is so profoundly good. It it just will make you cry in some episodes, which I have done, even in the original episode, in the original series, which I actually
Well,
have. I have the whole original series of Star Trek, and so to me, they parallel each other in many ways, in certain ways. Um,
when you say the original series, that's not the one I'm talking about. That's when they started again.
I'm talking about in general, like how. So you have the original series of Star Trek, which aired from 1966 to 1969, and then you had Doctor Who, which is what 1968 to 1980 something, 88, something like that, the first run, or at least through the very early series. And you're talking about the special effects, and the special effects of the original series of Star Trek were not that good, but the stories that they wrote were fantastic. And that to me is how Doctor Who is, and in my experience, was very little. I assure you, I would say that there are parallels to the of what I've seen of the original run, because I've only seen it in video essays and such. Because it's an interest of mine, of that, of just getting the knowledge of these things. It seems like while the special effects were not that great, the stories, for the most part, for the first run, were very good, which is why it kept people coming back and watching it. But over time, you had change of showrunners, and the writing got worse, and then it got canceled, and then we revitalized it in I think what 2000, 2002, 2003,
5.
maybe
But
2005. That's
yeah,
what 2005.
you're still missing out the original series. I think before Star Trek, wasn't it?
Well, you said it was 1968 was when Doctor Who first started coming on.
I think it was before
1963.
then. It was long
Earlier.
before then. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was 60.
1963.
I think 63,
1963. Okay. All right. Yes, you're right.
62,
I'm saying
63. I was an early
But I don't
teen.
think there were any recordings.
Yes, they are. Oh, to be able to find them, that could be hard.
Well, the problem was that the BBC didn't used to keep stuff. They used to just throw stuff away, and
what a shame.
Though
so a lot of the other stuff.
I have seen the first Doctor a few years ago. So yeah, it's out there
Yeah, there were one
somewhere.
or two. But what happened was if they sold them abroad, um, then sometimes the other, like Australia, would keep some, and so some have turned up that way. But
Oh, maybe that's how.
I mean, it's
But yeah,
amazing, like what we've lost, and like what then we find out. Oh, wait, this is still here. It's good for historical, for
yeah, well, the BBC
being
was.
it's listed.
I worked at the BBC for a long time as a producer and director, and I was working on a kind of expose program about. Well, it was a not really expose. Anyway. So we tried to do a story about the fact that the BBC hardly anything, and still weren't keeping. This was in late 1970s. Still weren't keeping things. They're just reusing the tapes, the old tapes, because they were expensive. And
What a shame.
so
Gosh, how sad.
we were going to do an item about it, and the head of video just complained and said, "Don't let them do that."
Oh
So
no,
we're
you'll be
banned from
figured
doing
out, and then they'll force you to change,
Interesting place, the BBC. Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how profound, art, like some art can last and some art gets destroyed. And then you're like, oh, and it's like, and some of those are just beautiful pieces of profound art. And some people are just like, just record over it. It's fine.
Oh, no.
No, that's why I agree. That's why I'm saying. I'm just like, it's incredible how some people, like, all it takes is one head who doesn't understand art, doesn't understand this, and we lose things like this. It's a shame because they're like, oh, the special effects aren't great enough.
I don't think it was even that. I mean, I think way back, certainly BBC, it was
Or it's
the
cost efficient.
well, I don't think they wrote contracts where they were going to repeat them anyway. So they just thought, well, they're not going to repeat it.
Syndicate, because of syndication. Yeah, syndication wasn't a thing yet. Okay,
Yeah,
I mean that makes sense too.
the early days, really, in many ways.
Yeah, makes sense too.
And the tapes were expensive, so 2-inch tape. So they just reused them. Yeah, I had quite a fight with the video library because just trying to get the story in the first place, and then we wrote it and we're about to put it out, and no.
How many bad decisions have been made over trying to save money?
Yeah, that.
So many.
Especially in England.
So many.
And history
Oh.
repeats itself.
We can't pick on England.
We're not.
No, they don't. They're not the only ones.
Yeah, I'm not picking on England. I mean,
No, not you. Our English gentleman was said, especially in England. We're not going to pick on England. Yeah, bad decisions are made everywhere.
especially in America right now. But we're not going to talk about that. It's
We're not allowed. It's in the rules. So yes,
Anyways.
we're going to have a bit of a voting for what we're going to read at the next table read, because we don't have our season picked yet.
Ooh.
We're dragging our feet, and it's been kind of fun.
We should definitely do some Star Trek. Speaking of Star Trek, if we can find some Star Trek scripts, we should think about doing one or two of those because some of them are just fantastic.
Absolutely.
Actually, I mean, a lot of them are fantastic. I shouldn't say that. I would say that the majority of episodes are actually super well written and amazing. So
we have, this is our second Doctor Who.
awesome.
And we have read Star Trek. It was Wrath of Khan. So it was a movie, but we should do some
episodes.
One of the series, any of the series.
Any of the series are fantastic. I mean, I would
Find
say
me a
especially.
script and we'll put it on the list.
Yeah.
I will. Let me make a note, and I will go search for that. How's that?
So my poll will be limited to ones that we have scripts for. So
I'll do the legwork and go. I'll put it on my list of things I have to do, but I will do it.
and it'll be a film next time. So we'll have a break for a week because I need one.
Okay, no worries.
And then we'll do a film script over the next two. We'll split in half like usual. So
Yeah,
do
we split
2
it.
weeks of a film, take a break, and do a television episode after that.
Okay.
Just think about it. We used to do movies almost every week, and yes, Table Read Tuesdays was every Tuesday. It was a real commitment. And a fun commitment too.
It was fun. Definitely fun.
I'm so committed. Sometimes I come and see we have it and we don't.
Well, this
Anyways,
was what I expected. This was absolutely wonderful to do. Thank you all.
yes.
Your your contribution is more than appreciated. It's adored.
Quick little share screen here of some potential movies. I only have a couple I put on my list so far here of film scripts for next week.
Should we also, since we also have this showing on YouTube, should we put a poll up on the YouTube and see if what people may think about
If I knew
what they
how to
might
do
want to
that,
see?
I could.
Okay.
But so
And
far, I have
Well, you
more
can
film
also
scripts
comment.
than this, but
They can
this
also put it
one,
in the comment. Oh, The Matrix is good. That's fantastic. Oh, Metropolis. Oh, Metropolis. Oh, such a good film. Is
okay,
that okay? So is that the original Metropolis, or is that from 1950s
undated,
Metropolis?
unproduced draft, it says.
Oh,
So
okay.
an
So it
early
could be
draft.
either the
Hmm.
the
okay, so
silent
let's
film.
put The
Okay.
Matrix and Metropolis for sure, and one other one,
Mm,
at least one other one.
Willow is so great.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
Love Willow. Yes.
I can put one
yeah.
more if you wanted.
Yeah, I love that movie too.
Horse Whisperer is a great one. It's so sad, but it's a great movie. But I think we should you know keep it to these three first, and then we can come back around because
Lots more
that
to add, but
gives
yeah.
a good one.
Let me take a quick look at the calendar here too, make sure I'm not out of town any of these Tuesdays coming up. So I think we're good. What is today? Today's the 11th, so we'll be reading on the 25th and the
Okay.
4th of March. So
Um,
2 dates.
yeah, it's so great seeing all of you here. It's so wonderful. Appreciate all of you guys.
Any other comments on the script, the plot, the Doctor Who as a whole?
I mean, it's one of my favorites. I mean, I sent you this episode, so obviously I love this episode. I also love a lot of episode. I started Doctor Who in college because some friends had the uh, what's his name, Christopher, the
Yeah,
first
Christopher.
reboot, and I loved. I was like, oh, this is great. And then he was gone after one season, and I was like, oh no, what the hell? And then David Tennant showed up, and I was like, even better. This is even better. So I would love to even be a doctor one day. I have strong feelings about the doctor because I do feel like sometimes some of the doctors, and it's all about the writing. Like we were saying, the female doctor, for example, I know had a rough go at it because I heard the writing wasn't great and the stories weren't great. And
It's
so
not.
people were like, yeah, you see, you're trying to do DEI and bring a woman. It was like it had nothing to do with her being a woman, everything to
Yeah.
do with this
The
is just not
writing.
interesting. Like you
Yeah.
didn't write anything super interesting for her, which
I
annoyed
tried really hard. I
You
Yeah,
gave
follow
her not
her.
one, you gave her nothing to do. You
don't
also
like it.
you didn't write her well.
Yeah,
And I mean, and you wrote terrible supporting characters. Like that's the
yeah.
other thing. Like because the
Oh,
companions weren't that great. Like
oh,
you
the
and
And
they would
that's the other
companion.
thing. When
and
they
they would
brought the
dangle all
first
these
black
plot
companion,
threads.
Martha, that really pissed me off that they made her this like, you know, oh, she's pining for the doctor who's not interested in her and like just the way that they like character development for her, I was just like, I'm not here for this at all.
Eventually,
Like
eventually, though, they made her break out of that.
eventually by
Yeah,
the end, but
yeah,
still it took forever and I
it
was not
did.
a fan. I was not a
It
fan.
did.
But yeah, they would dangle all these interesting plot points and then just drop them. From what I've heard, I've seen enough like video essays and things about it to where it's like I watched it.
No me
So,
gusta.
but yeah, it's I don't think that oh my gosh, her name is starting to escape me or is escaping me. I want to say it's Judith Whittaker.
I think
Who
so.
played
Yes.
Martha you're talking about?
No, played the
No.
female doctor.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
Jodie.
actually
Whittaker.
It's
Jodie
Jodie.
Whittaker. That's what
Jodie.
it is.
Yeah.
She's actually really fantastic. She's a fantastic
She's a
actress.
great actor. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And she did as well as she could with what she was given.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that they were like, here, we're just gonna, weaponize incompetence this plot line until This is why, women shouldn't play the doctor or shouldn't have these kind of roles
It kind
because
of
they
felt
can't
that
do
way,
it. And
yeah.
it's really because they were written by men and they did not give the character the respect that it needed. They didn't write her as a, well, human to me. They didn't write her as a
No,
woman or
for me, it's not
whatever. It was
about the
weird.
human. It's about, the beauty of the Doctor, from what I understand and what I've seen with Matt Smith, David Tennant, and Christopher, is this beautiful
Eccles,
tension
Christopher, because that's who it is.
between madness
Right.
and and vulnerability and sincerity. Like the juxtaposition of comedy and sadness is just so beautiful. And that's
Well,
what
I
we
mean,
all
well, that's what I
love
mean.
about
The
Doctor Who
writers,
and like pulls at us.
right? Well, that's what I mean by that. When I say like they didn't write. It was a character, it was a one-dimensional character, and it
Yeah.
was written as a character. Like it just wasn't written well. That's all I mean. That's all I mean by that. They didn't. She did the best she could with what she got, unfortunately. So
Absolutely.
Have you all
Well,
seen the newest
the Black
reboot
Doctor.
with the
And
guy
Kuti?
from Sex Education?
Love
He's
that
I
he's
show.
haven't
so
seen
I've
it.
only seen one episode. He's so flipping good. He's
I
so good. I adore him.
He's
This is
part of
with the toy maker, right? The episode with the
Yes.
That's
toy
what I
maker.
need. I
There's
need
lots of
that.
Yes.
episodes. He's been in several
Stream it.
at this
I'll
point.
stream that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've only watched the first
Yeah.
one, but yeah.
It's on Max. Yeah, he's perfect.
Oh,
He's perfect. He loves
yeah.
that, again, that juxtaposition between
Mm-hmm.
like being like kooky and being really like serious and sincere and vulnerable. He does a really great job of that as an actor
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
generally. So,
because
Yeah.
seriously, the doctor is keeping the universe going.
hmm
Is really the ultimate task.
exactly.
Um, so yeah, that vein of seriousness should go through every doctor.
Yes.
Hmm
yeah.
So
So,
Haley,
Yeah.
did you have a comment too? I saw you trying to speak.
yes.
Oh, me? Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Haley.
you, Haley.
Up his name. It's Nikute Gatwa. I love him from
Thank
Sex
And
Ed.
you.
Kuti, my love.
I
Nkuti.
love him so much.
I said Nkuti. What did I say? I always mess up.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's a
Oh,
hard name.
From the
yeah.
shorts I've seen, he's fantastic, and I like. I've seen the toy maker shorts. There's a lot of toy maker shorts, and it's him and David Tennant, and they're just
Yeah.
fantastic together. So, and of course, you have
Actually,
Neil
I have
Patrick
that
Harris in it.
script. The
Oh,
giggle, the giggle. I think I did it with another group. It was
that'd be
it was a
fun.
fun episode.
Yeah, you have two doctors for one. It's great.
Yeah. hmm
I mean, I love Tennant and Matt Smith, the ones I've seen to get together with them too, which is just great. But yeah, Doctor Who's great. I guess that's, ending discussion. Doctor Who is fantastic. Everyone should watch it.
Yeah. The one about the TARDIS being like his wife is another one
Oh,
that is a beautiful episode.
and the
Yeah.
one with River Songs, like a lot of the River Song episodes are
Oh
just
yeah.
fantastic.
Hmm
Her whole arc is just so great. Again,
Yes.
this is all I get from watching these shorts. These shorts will come on, and I'm just like glued to them because they're really good.
You should watch the
Well,
full
Yeah.
episode.
I know. I will get it as soon as I can. Right now, I have stuff to do. Okay, no, but I do. I
what
plan. I
what
plan
do
to
you
get
want
it.
to bet we do another Doctor Who in the future?
We are going to do another Doctor Who.
Or in the
What do you mean?
past.
There's no bets. I'm not betting. This is happening.
Hey, I'm not betting money. I'm just, throwing it out there. I bet we will. My
Oh, we
money's on
will.
we
I'm sure
will.
we will.
Mhm.
I'll take that bet. Yeah, we absolutely will. Anyways, this has been lovely as it usually is. I do have to get going, but I adore you all, and also to our viewers, thank you so much for viewing. Have a great night. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Aubrey.
I'm gonna head out too. I will see you all later though. Have a great night.
You
Yeah. Have a
too.
great trip, Anamika.
Love you all. And nice to meet you, Henry.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is the first time Henry has joined?
We've been on something before, I'm sure.
Yes, you are
Did you read
familiar.
Roger Rabbit with us?
Hmm?
Roger
Did you read
Rabbit?
Roger Rabbit with us?
Yeah,
Who framed Roger Rabbit? Was that you?
that was my first one
I
too.
remember.
I thought maybe it was
But you're in some other groups, aren't you, Audrey? Vicky, I mean. Aren't you in some other groups that I'm in,
Vicky?
Vicky?
Can't remember.
You're in my group
Yeah, yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Yes.
Oh yes, Vicky did show up at one of Jackie's readings.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's right.
Yep. At
I just
least
like the
two,
fact
I
that there's
think.
so many different reading groups, and there's a whole bunch of different folks that go to, a lot of them. So we see each other in different
Yes.
contexts, and that's lovely.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that we're keeping them alive and going, and that people are still really in it and really, excited. It's funny, I think, for example, the Bardathon, they said this year was even more than last year.
Oh,
Um, I stayed on the last reading and chatted with Colin, who's one of the organizers. And yeah, he was like, even more people came because we brought so many people from the Zoom world. Henry, myself, like you, like advertised to all our friends, and they joined, and it was great.
That was a blast, I tell you.
Hmm.
For those of you listening who don't know what the Bardathon is, that's when they read all of Shakespeare's plays and, in this case,
Mostly.
his sonnets. All the ones in the main canon, I should say. There's a few that may or may not have been written by Shakespeare that may or may not have been on the list. And then
yeah.
and the sonnets, and then they didn't put in this year they didn't put in his big poems and such, but essentially 37, 38 plays and 100 something sonnets, all within the space of 1 week. So each 4 hours, every 4 hours, starting a new um, piece of work. And that means some of the readings are in the dead of the night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., etc. That's where I did most of my reading. I read 14 plays that week.
Oh my
Um,
Nice.
goodness.
Oh my
I
gosh,
read, I think,
Vincent.
12 with the Bartathon, and then, one here, one script here, and then one with tape, or one with two households. So
Mm.
that was
You're talking.
exhausting.
Wish I wasn't. I could have done more, but Antigone
I
was a
couldn't.
hell of a role. I had to get into
You
that.
you're talking
I
about
know
the
you had
Bardathon a
Antigone.
couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, the one that was
Yeah,
in Wisconsin.
You
a
know,
couple
there's
of weeks
one
ago
coming up this next week.
in
There's
March.
another
Oh,
one
what?
coming up in
Yeah,
There's,
Alaska.
there's
February and
one.
March.
Which one is that again, Jackie?
There's the one
It's the
coming up.
Alaska one.
Isn't
Okay.
that coming up this weekend?
It's not coming up this weekend. No, it's
It's
coming up at
close.
the end of February into March.
Yeah,
What is
I
it
have
called?
the schedule like on my
I'll
computer
do
on
it.
my calendar.
I've got it.
Okay.
I'm
Will you send it
excited.
Yeah.
to me?
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's only
They're doing
sound. They
Zoom.
don't do the
No,
vision.
You call in, but it's still really really cool. Like I had such a great
Mm.
experience last year. I called in all the time,
Yeah, you were.
and it was really cool because many times, they would start identifying you. You would just be like, "Hello, oh Jackie!" Like right away, they knew.
Yeah.
It was really
you
cool.
must not have seen the updates then. They said they're planning on doing Zoom this time.
They said they were going to try, but
Try.
on the email that I received so far, there's only a call-in number. There
Yeah.
isn't a Zoom link yet.
Not yet,
I
So,
no.
remember you went into like a Starbucks bathroom when you were visiting me. And you were like, "I'm just gonna
uh,
call. I'm gonna see. I might jump on." It was hilarious.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I was addicted last year, and this year, for the other one, the Wisconsin one, I tried to do as many as possible. I did way less this year than last year. Last year, I think I did like 20 maybe of the plays or something crazy. But this year, I think I did maybe eight. I don't know. Did what I could,
Yeah, I wish I could have done more too.
I
but
wasn't
I made
planning
the
on doing
important ones.
20.
I made Macbeth. I was there for that
That was
one.
good. That was a good one.
And I was there for Hamlet. Oh,
There's that one. But I got to read
Lucky.
Anthony and Cleopatra. There was just one other person in the room, so I got to read literally half of Anthony and Cleopatra, every other line.
No, that
that's what
happened
we
to me
did
last
last year.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Haley and I and what's his name?
I I forget
Oh,
it.
I'm forgetting his name.
But
Um,
just even with three people is insane. Yeah, yeah. Like I think
yeah,
Jackie dropped off for like 30 minutes, and I was like, and not yeah. It was kind of a funny feeling. I was like, I'm just by myself here. All right.
Richard.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because I dropped off after a while. I was like, yo, I
yeah.
need to
Yeah.
sleep.
Like you napped, and you were like, wait, you're doing Cleopatra. I'm coming back or
And
something.
I was like, I'll be Cleopatra for half of the play and then go. Man.
Here's the Fairbanks
Yes.
Bartathon one.
Yeah,
And
bet.
I
Oh,
don't
February
have
28th, right.
And there's the
looking
call-in.
for a contact. There's a call-in number here. I'm looking for the
Hmm
How
contact
about screenshot on a
information.
Mac again, Jackie?
Yeah.
Do you
See,
remember?
Command Shift 3.
Command, yes.
So here I'll just
Made a cool noise.
Friday the 28th
Mm-hmm.
for a week. So
Yeah.
I guess here's their schedule.
Let's see.
Yeah, should
But
be pretty
it's
fun.
it's similar to like theirs where they do it like once
But
one's finished,
they,
another one
yeah,
starts.
but every 4 hours, but they have a school group thing that they do too in several of the hours, especially the 8 a.m.
Oh,
hours, which I'm like, hey, I appreciate that.
These aren't all every 4 hours either. Look, there's 4 p.m.s. Oh, because the sonnets are only an hour, it looks like, at a time.
Hmm
So
Yeah, there they've got Julius Caesar, it's just 3 hours. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
really
that's true.
squeeze them in there. No breaks for the wicked.
I know, right? Oh, and they've added a few other extra things that I was like, ooh, the Rape of Lucrece, for example. I was
Which I've
like,
never
oh,
read. I'm
okay.
gonna do that. And yeah, Venus and Adonis
Uh-huh. And Adonis.
in there too. So, but yeah, this one should be. I'll be out of town on some of these days, so I don't know if I'll make it or not. But I certainly miss the evening ones. But we'll see. All right, I'm gonna stop
And is
sharing.
it longer than a week? It's actually a little bit
It goes to the 28th down to
Friday.
the 9th, so Sunday.
Okay.
So yeah, slightly
So it's a
longer
little
than a
bit
week.
longer. Yeah. That's what I
Um,
was thinking. I was like, this doesn't look like 7 days. It looks more. Okay.
that's because they don't looks like they don't do any after 8 o'clock at night unless
Yeah.
I'm. So these are all in, of course, whatever Fairbanks, whatever time. Is
I'm
Fairbanks
not
in?
mad at them.
Yeah.
Oh, in Alaska.
Oh, I know where it's. I know where it is. I'm thinking, what time zone is it in?
Oh, it's Pacific, I thought.
Is it Pacific? Is
Uh-huh.
Alaska on Pacific time too? I wasn't sure if there was another time zone further west.
Niet.
right?
We just
I
have.
was Pacific the last year when I called in.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing then. So yeah, that'd be a hoot. I was really sad though they don't have the overnight ones because those are the ones I can make. I'm too busy during the day.
Yeah, this year because of like the three shows I was in, I was like, I joined I think three in the middle of the night, and then I was like, nah, I'm good. Going to bed by 5, by 4. Let's do it. Can't do this.
Well, most of the history plays were in the middle of the night, and that's probably
Yeah,
why it was
that's
terrible
why they do it that way actually, because we
because
we
no one
talked
wants to
about
do
it
them.
last year and this year. Yeah, they do the history ones because one, they're the less, lesser popular ones, and two, they're like, well, fewer people will want to read it, so let's do it then.
Oh, those are my favorites.
Hmm Well, if they're your favorite, next year they'll do it at the same time, I'm sure. All of the history, and then Anthony and Cleopatra, some of the tragedies. Yeah, because the popular ones, they always do it in that window. If you look
Hmm.
and you look next year when they do it, they always do it in that window of like between 4 and midnight are the popular ones. Midsummer's Night's Dream, Othello, Macbeth, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I did notice that. That did not escape my attention.
Hmm I was like, this is a hard window when you have rehearsals and work.
Yeah, the hardest ones for me to make, they were like the ones that start about 6 in the morning because that's too early for most people. And if you're up all night, you're going to bed. So,
Yep.
kudos to the ones who came in at 6 in the morning to read. I was like, oh dear God, I am not a morning person. But yeah.
To relieve what's his name so he could go sleep. I forget
Mhm.
his name right now.
Well, he had to wake me up on a few occasions because I'm sitting there like waiting my turn and like nodding off.
Ah!
And he's like, Cat? I'm like, oh, I'm here. I'm here. Is it my turn? Where are we? Oh, okay.
Oh goodness.
Not quite as bad as falling asleep while singing, but
Hmm.
which I have done. But yeah, I was pretty tired that week. So
I can
anyway,
imagine.
I've got a million things to do still for this week.
Oh, same.
Crazy, crazy stuff. So, any final comments or anything else anyone want to say about this particular episode of Doctor Who? Or
My only thing is I thought it was sadder than it actually was. I just remember it being even more sad the first time I I did it. But I'm glad it's not as sad as as I
Which is that?
remember it.
Which play?
Hmm?
Which is that?
This one, Doctor
Oh,
Who
this.
and
Oh,
Van
you've done
Gogh,
this one
Vincent.
before.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did it a couple years ago.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, this is, yeah. And my accent, sorry, but not sorry. Like, I decided I made a choice to make it crazy because I was like, oh, he's Dutch, but he's lived in France. And, like, I'm sure he knows the British. It's like, I'm gonna just mix it up and be really confused. Just like Van Gogh. He was very
Well,
confused.
I was more confused than that because I thought I was playing. I can't even remember his name now.
Dr. Black?
No, I thought who's that Italian, the most famous painter?
Oh, Michelangelo.
Thinking, or
No, is it
Michelangelo?
Michelangelo?
Not Michelangelo. I'm talking about no, no, no.
yeah, wait, hold on.
Um, oh, now I'm forgetting.
I've got
Um,
him here somewhere.
Oh, oh my God. Yeah, this is hurting my brain. I've got it. No. Come on.
Yeah, the one who
different
did
Dutch painter.
Yeah, name a painting.
the
what did
lady.
he say, Kat?
What?
Oh, I have no, and I'm just spouting out nonsense.
Oh, it's that Italian sculptor, painter, inventor.
Oh,
He's an
Leonardo
ever
da Vinci.
after
Did I?
Leonardo da Vinci. Yes, thank you.
Leonardo da Vinci. So that's for some reason or other I got it into my
Hi,
head that
Rui.
that's who I was playing. So I was doing as much Italian as possible, and
Yeah. Da Vinci, Van Gogh. Yeah, I could see.
Vincent. Sure, sure. That's so funny. Yeah, the Dutch accent is an interesting mix actually between like French and British in my mind, which is why I was like, okay, gonna be very confusing accent. It's fine.
well, it's dry, isn't it?
Hmm.
It's kind of dry accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Trying to see if there's something on YouTube right now where somehow his voice got recorded.
Who, Vincent Van Gogh?
Like,
Girl. There's nothing of no recordings of his voice.
it's too old. I don't know. I don't know.
No, there are none. It's not possible. They can make it up, based off of
Bunch of
he was
movies.
a man in his 30s in who's from the Netherlands. Like they can
That's
made
true.
up, but they don't know his real voice.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, so but I was just thinking about one time I was doing an audition for like Harry Houdini and like a one of those what are they called? Like live experience kind of figure out the thing and be a character. I found some old recording, but that would make more sense because he's 1900s. I think they had stuff already. Yeah,
Yeah.
true, true. My bad.
Nah, you're fine. You're fine.
Find a cool video. Wise sayings, Vincent Van Gogh.
You're like, let me check it out. Let me see. It has to be somewhere.
Oh, the Doctor Who got like thing popped up, the episode of this, yeah, and
Hmm.
that actor looks great. I mean, wow, he's got
Yeah.
like tears in his eyes and the like thumbnail of it. And it's cool.
No, the casting for this show is also another thing that they usually do very well.
Yeah,
You don't mean just this episode, you mean in general across
In
the
general, yeah.
series.
Especially when they're casting real people, quote unquote, they do a pretty good job, usually.
yeah. I thought the Shakespeare that guy was great. You
I
know,
loved, oh yeah, that's another episode that was really, I think that I've done and I've seen. The Shakespeare one, that was great.
yeah. I got to play. Was it with Scripts with Friends,
Oh
possibly?
yeah, it was, and I was with you. What am I saying?
Yeah, you played. I forget what companion is. Is it Amy?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either. But yeah, that was so much fun. playing Doctor Who, I was like all up in that. I'm already like that. I'm like literally like a female version of David Tennant. That is only in the way that I'm like goofy like him in real life. I don't know if I'm as good an actor as him. He is. I'm getting there though. I like it was fun to play Doctor Who. Yeah, that was cool when they were like, really, Doctor Who. I was like, whoa, okay, shoot, here we go. That was fun though. I can't remember, but I watched the episode. I had seen it before, but I watched it before we did it, and I just forgot how great Shakespeare was even cast and everything. Yeah, real good stuff. Sweet.
Well, all right. Well, I think we'll call it a night. And see you all in
Excellent.
2 weeks, hopefully, for whatever lovely film we decide to read. So, and if someone knows how to put a poll up on YouTube, let me know, because I don't have a clue how to do it. So,
Well,
I'm a
goodbye,
YouTuber and
everyone
I
in
don't know,
YouTube
so
land.
yes. Bye.
bye. Have fun storming the castle, you all. And if someone knows how to put a poll up on YouTube, let me know, because I don't have a clue
Yeah,
how
do
to
you
do
know how
it.
to do that? I'm not sure.
Well, goodbye, everyone in YouTube land.
Oh shoot.